Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming on to my presentation today. I wanted to say thank you for being here, and it's going to be a really good presentation and very exciting and to talk to you today. I wanted to do a presentation last night, but there was sort of miscommunication with it. I had injured myself and I thought I could do it, and then I wasn't sure. So there was just a technical difficulty with it actually. So I'm on here live now, and I'm going to begin in a few moments just to talk to you about sort of connections in your body with health and wellness, with disease, dis-ease in the body or illness, with how you feel with your mental health and also emotions and how that affects you. And, there's sort of like be a little bit of an activation at the end. I'm going to say a little prayer at the end, do some little bit of light breathing, and just be with everybody today. And this is my office. I have some beautiful artwork here, actually, as you can see. And I have my little bookshelves there. I have lots of books here going on. And my whole workspace is here that I bring clients to as well. So it's really fun. So I'm just going to begin in a couple of minutes. I can't actually see who's on yet, so I'll just wait a few minutes just to make sure everyone gets on. And I'll begin in a moment. So we'll begin. So it's exciting. So believe it or not, this is my very first Facebook Live I'm doing all by myself, but I'm up for the challenge. And I wanted to honor that I said I would do a presentation, for everybody too. I want to honor that. That's why I thought this would be a lot easier. And I'm also accepting any donations as well. If anyone would like to donate to my business, to starting my business, that's fine too. Just, message me along the way. And I also donate some of the money to our local shelter as well, where I live. So I'm going to begin in just a few moments and just make sure everyone's sort of coming on more. Hello there. I can see two people there. I think it's Mel. Say hi, Mel. And I'm sorry, I can't see the other name, but thank you for coming on today. It's exciting. Oh, hey, Julian. Hi. How's everybody this Friday? Did you have a good week? I hope you did. Nice sunshine today where we are. Huh? A lot going on in the world. I understand that. We're going to go through this very slowly and stick together as a community and just send some light and love out, but also learn about ourselves too. It's going to be really informative too. So you'll just love it. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to begin in a moment, and there is a recording too. If anyone just jumps in halfway through, that's okay too, so you can still catch up on it later. So not to worry at all. So I want to ask you a question. So what would it take for you to develop a really healthy, strong body? Obviously, it does require a mentor or a guide or a coach to really understand and pinpoint the details of the body. Would you agree? We all need a little bit of help sometimes to get into our own body, to learn about our bodies and get just past where we need to be with our health. It makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it? On your own, you can get so far, and that's really good. I actually help others fill the gap between their health and their doctor to support you fully with your whole body. And that's where I come in to support you with your whole body, not just one part of you. And then we figure out the root causes and go from there. I actually focus on insulin resistance, metabolic resistance, and emotional eating symptoms. And I have courses on booklets and programs that help you get there on my website, which is jellybdeannutrition.com. You might be wondering, what does jelly beans have to do with nutrition? Well, nothing. But the connection is, I love the color and the flavors of jelly beans. It's inclusive to everyone, but I want you to remember, I want you to try to eat whole foods rather than sugar, which has no nutrition in it, but it can taste just as good if when you get into the habit of eating more whole foods. And this leads me to my next point that I want to mention with you. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Give up being in control or overeating or binging. I mean, let's be honest. We've all been there. There's a lot of donuts on the counter or cookies or pizza. We've all been there. But I wanted to encourage you to lean in. When you want to do that, there's many emotions involved in this, isn't there? And there's a reason why we're craving those foods. We eat because it makes us feel good. We end up feeling guilty though. And then when we get on the scale and we feel good for the moment, and then we feel guilty, and then we feel good, it's pure torture. We do this over and over again to ourselves. So I want to encourage you to stop doing this. We can stop, and we can work together on this too. If you don't know this already about me, I became a holistic nutritionist because I was drawn to it many times in my life. I actually met a holistic nutritionist in my 20s when I had changed jobs. I couldn't get pregnant for like 5 years. I kept getting bladder infections and sinus infections and you name it. I was always not feeling good. And no one could seem to help me. I was always on antibiotics. It was a vicious cycle. So what I did is I coincidentally, but I don't think there's any coincidences in life, is there anymore? I actually met a wonderful holistic nutritionist, and she got me back to health by changing some supplements I was taking and changing my foods and just encouraging me to eat healthier. And she really supported me on all levels. I actually got pregnant after that, after 4 months of being on the plan. And I never looked back. I have 2 children of my own, 2 beautiful children of my own, and 1 beautiful stepdaughter as well. So we're a blended family. So I swore after that point I would help other women through all their stages of life to help them with their hormonal health. And that's what I'm really passionate with today, to work with you in the future as well. And I have had many health concerns also when I was a little girl. And looking back, I can put the pieces together of my emotions that directly affected my nervous system, my gut health, digestion, and my food choices or cravings, my sleep habits, and yes, my moods. When you think of eating healthier, many people think they have to give up what they ate before. Well, lean in. I have to tell you, this isn't exactly true. By choosing better habits for yourself, you will, in fact, choose better for you naturally. And so you won't have to give up anything you don't want to. And eventually you won't be drawn in the junk foods or the sugars anymore because you have changed already and took little actions for your life. That is why I'm so passionate about mentoring and gently guiding my clients with so many tools in my toolbox to support you. It is about having excitement and passion for yourself again. And I use nutrition to start off with my foundation. You receive so many wins and develop a better relationship for yourself too, and in your mindset as well. I give others the gifts of compassion for and to themselves throughout all of my programs. It is a transformative process for sure. The thing I have felt a bit shy about to announce that I am right today is that some of you might already know this, so it might not be a big surprise, but I'm very intuitive as well. And I never announced it so formally before just because I was afraid of people judging me. But, people that want to know about it will accept me for who I am. And that's where I will resonate with people that resonates with. So that's okay. I'm okay. I'm good with that too. So I just dug deep and got the courage to come on today and speak with you in a safe place. So thank you for doing that for me as well. My grandmother really inspired me with intuitiveness and to dig deep. And she taught me a lot about courage and wisdom and strength, healing hands, compassion. And she really, really encouraged me to, she really accepted me for who I was and just, it just taught me how to trust myself. She was one of my mentors as well. So I sort of bring, I guess, old-fashioned ideas into it too, but that's okay. She lived till she was 100. So, doing something right. So, pretty good mentor for me too. Thank you, Julian. I'm so happy I can share this with you too. I combine my intuitive natural abilities with my education and it works really well together. I was nervous at first that I was like, how am I going to combine all this together? But it really, really works really well. Do you remember when you were like younger, your younger self, and you enjoyed just being in the moment, just relaxing, enjoying yourself? Well, you can have that again too, with curiosity and wonder and unconditional self-love for yourself by taking care of you. Now lean in, learning to take care of you, to live the life you would like to in all of its beauty and wonders, and I can help you get there. People try to keep busy. They overeat, they overwork, they overdrink, and avoid their path in getting caught in their own way. You've been there. We sometimes have a difficult time in life. Sometimes we lose our joy. Sometimes we lose our hope. Some people might call that the dark night of the soul. People's intentions are good and they want more, but sometimes you end up feeling worse. It's really difficult, but there is hope and there's a way to get out of that. When you nourish yourself on all levels and really pay attention to how you feel, you notice things about yourself that you need to make other choices that fill you with joy instead of anxiety and worry. Fill you with joy. Raise your vibes. What are you truly hungry for? We need to connect with others for ourselves and our lives. We box up our feelings of vulnerability and that our feelings of being hurt and afraid. And that's totally okay. Like, I get it. I've been there too. I totally understand that. But you can help yourself again to get out of that and feel stronger and feel like yourself again. Do you remember how you used to nourish yourself, maybe when you were younger, and how good you felt? How do you want to feel? All of the emotions of joy, courage, love, peace, feeling accepted unconditionally, compassion, wisdom, gratitude are all higher frequency energies. Let them fuel you. Let them make you feel better. Even higher frequency energy changes your cells and your DNA. It has been scientifically proven over and over again. Isn't that so amazing? That's so neat, huh? And it's powerful. Carolyn Myss and Norman Shealy, the late Norman Shealy, talk about this in their book called The Creation of Health, and explains how the chakras, or the energy points in your body, connect to one another. They're always communicating to one another. And the chakras just mean the energy centers in your body, like in your stomach, in your liver, pancreas, in your chest, in your throat, and in your crown chakra. Your emotions can cause dis-ease in your body or ease in the body. We know how that feels. We also know how it feels to be sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, don't we? This is where I come in, and I love supporting others. Many live day to day surviving. I get it. I've been there many times too. There was many times when I scrounged when they used to have pennies, and I grabbed all my pennies and I collected from the house, under the couch, under the cushions, and went to the bank walking to the bank from the house to get $5 just to buy a loaf of bread and milk. That's where I started. I've been there too. I get it. And I've fought my way back to be where I am today. So I have professional and personal experience that I can understand where everyone's been, and I can relate to everyone on different levels too. In the pit of your stomach, at the base of your spine that goes up just under your ribs, all the tummy, the front and back sides, is where we hold on to our fear. We hold on to judgments. We hold on to being accepted by families and friends. We hold on to betrayal. We hold on to trust issues. When I went through my divorce, I held on to a lot of betrayal in my lower abdomen, let me tell you. And over time, I developed a cyst in my uterus. I don't think that was any coincidence. It was very painful. If we go around a little bit up to your liver on your right side of your ribs, and the pancreas is on the left, this is where we hold on to our anger and overcompensating or doing too much for others and not taking care of yourself. Your liver has hundreds and hundreds of processes It works hard for you all day and night. I know, who would have thought I would get excited talking about the liver, right? But this is me. This is my passion, and I love talking about the organs. So the liver is constantly communicating with your gut, your blood, your heart, and your brain all day long and when you sleep. And how you feel and what you eat matters. In quick seconds, everything can change in your body and how it feels by throwing it into fight or flight mode. If you have road rage, you have bad news, your adrenals kick in and they're overactivated, throwing it into fight and flight mode, and this throws a plethora of stress and more emotions through your whole body very quickly. In an instant, everything can change. It's almost like you're running away from a bear or doing a quick sprint. But I don't think there's any bears chasing you right now, is there? So it kind of puts things in perspective. So your body stores hormones for those stressful moments. So they are very useful and they work hard doing that for you. When too many things are happening though, this is where your body becomes all discombobulated and it feels tired more often than we'd like. I help others rewrite your story so you can move forward to sustainable change with symptomology and metabolic balance plans. I do this because they work and I believe in them so much. If you haven't noticed that already. I thought I'd just make that point again. And empowerment is a hot topic these days. We want it. We strive after it. We lose it. We get it again. We want to empower you to be the best person you can be and empower yourself with all these tools I have. Do you think your soul or your heart has a say in any of this? Do you hear the voice of your instincts? Do you honor yourself? How does it feel when something doesn't align with you? Do you do it anyways? Against your feelings or your intuition? Do you see others for who they are in love and light? Or do you have resentment and anger towards others that you're holding deep into your gut? How does this make you feel? I have found people sabotage even their nutrition sometimes when they don't want to face it. They go into a bit of relapse sometimes, but then they get back on track. And that's why we have the plans. They work and they're there for you all the time. And that's okay. I meet you where you are. I'm just using that as an example because you want to reward yourself, not suffer. You don't want to suffer. You want to reward yourself instead of keep going through the cycle of binge eating and feeling guilty, one step at a time, of course, but there's things that we can do to support you. You don't want to choose suffering over healing. So just the paradigm shift that you're choosing suffering over healing when you want to heal, right? So I know it's not easy, and bad things can happen in your life. And I get that. And everybody, take the time you need to get where you are today, to get where you need to be. And there's lots of people in our community to help you too. Intuition is speaking to you all of the time. But the funny thing with binge eating is your body is really smart. And if you're lacking in vitamins or minerals, your body will crave those foods. For example, if you're really stressed out, you might be a saltaholic. You might love salt. You have to have salt. But it's because the body needs your magnesium and potassium and sodium for the adrenals to replenish it and for your brain as well, for to balance your electrolytes in your body. Your sodium, magnesium, potassium, electrolyte pump. So recently I fell. As you know, I fell. You probably saw that. I put a post about it. And my elbow is pretty much healed now, which is nice. But I was telling friends that it felt like, and family, but it felt like I was protected in this. I don't know how to explain it anymore, sorry, but I felt like I was protected in this sort of white sphere. So what had happened, I was standing on the sidewalk with that extended leash with Jasper. I don't use that anymore. And I let go of the leash now if he pulls, but I didn't that time. And he whipped around. My back was facing him at full velocity and pulled me onto the road. Well, as this was happening, around me was like this white sphere, or like a white cloak of protection. That's all I can describe it to you. But everything was happening in slow motion and everything was blurry. Like I don't even remember. All I could remember is seeing a pinhole of Jasper, and I knew he was okay because there was no cars on the road. Everything was dead quiet. My husband was there. Michael was there with me. But it was almost like I was in a dream. And when the leash snapped, then I fell on the road and hurt myself, of course. But and I heard a voice before I fell that said, "This is going to hurt." And I remember like afterwards, I could visualize really quick, two like angels, guides came to protect me. I didn't have any fractures. I didn't hurt my head or I had my glasses on too. This might be fractured, but just a little bit. But everything is healed now, except for the bruises and, the tiredness and the achiness I felt. I feel very fortunate. And that's one example that has happened to me when I've had that sort of divine experience as well. And I actually landed on the road like Superwoman with a bad landing. And, it made me realize I am not Superwoman and I can't fly. And even I need to ask for help too sometimes. The nutritionist and coach in me needs coaching sometimes too. And, suffering actually is a choice, but pain is not. Suffering is a choice, but pain is not. We can't help when our bodies don't behave how we want them to, can we? Hi, Mia. Nice to see you here too. But it's definitely not a linear path with healing. And it's very frustrating trying to navigate illness, isn't it? Sometimes you need more practitioners in combination with your doctors to support you. And this is where I come in to fill those gaps. Try to be aware to not self-sabotage yourself and learn to get out of your own way to create new habits for your life. You don't want to give yourself permission to overspend or overeat or overdrink. This causes addictions and it disempowers you and really weakens your chakra system. Think of it this way. We liquidate our power and take out of our figuratively bank account instead of making deposits into us. I heard that quote recently. That wasn't mine, but I heard it from the book that I mentioned with Carolyn Miss, and it makes so much sense. Deposit into yourself and stop these habits. The dark night of the soul, as I mentioned, some may call it, is how you liquidate your power and your energy in your organs and your bodies. You actually alter your cell structure, making room for disease in your body. This creates acidity, if I can say that, acidity in our bodies, and it stops digestion from flowing freely. In any career that you have certain responsibilities, right? Even when we're moms, we have certain responsibilities, or when we're out in the workforce. But it's even like so say you even were fixing a car, for example, and it needs an oil change, it needs things, I know it's expensive. But what if you didn't do that for yourself, for the car? It wouldn't go very far, would it? And things would start breaking down. So you want to still make sure that you have the right nutrition and ingredients for yourself to nourish your whole body too. I start with food as a foundation, and I pull it up. I have 4 pillars of health that I work with as well to teach you about that. So then we all need to hold ourselves accountable to be reflective and careful in making our decisions, to be conscious and aware of our choices to choose better. For example, sometimes if you are hemorrhaging, or you have a nosebleed, or you're hemorrhaging somewhere else, sometimes it's the body cleansing itself and you're holding ideas too closely. And the energy of anger or fear doesn't serve you anymore. So the body's trying to reset you in many ways that we might not like at the time. They might be uncomfortable, but in the long run, they serve us. So your body is always communicating to you in many ways. Like when you get a headache, and it's not fun, I'm not saying that, but it's just to listen to what your body needs. So when you have a headache, you're feeling tired, feeling sick, sore knees, bloating, hairs on the back of your necks that rise or you're on your arms. It's all your body, your instincts telling you something, that what you need to listen to or what you need for yourself. Just listen, take small actions to get there. We're all guided. We have a meaning and a purpose of a path to follow. It's very exciting and encouraging for everyone. If we lack direction, this allows anything in life to take hold because you need more focus and you might get distracted easily. It's happened to me too. This adds to our stressors because then everything and everyone will try to hold on to you at the same time. And this can drain you like energy vampires. And it does day after day, doesn't it? Sorry. Okay. The chakras in the body try to protect you by storing old wounds that we haven't dealt with or that we have consumed and eventually get loaded, and the body starts developing your symptoms. For example, in the heart chakra, some people have a broken heart. They carry around guilt, sadness, hurt, and anguish. They feel like no one is with them and they feel alone. Some people never feel heard. They want to use their voice. They're frustrated because they feel no one ever listens to them. And they are under stress all the time at many levels. This really depletes the master hormone of your whole body from your adrenals into your thyroid. As we move up to the middle eye in here and to the top of the crown chakra, a lot of these people, it's okay. I'm no judgment. I'm just telling you how the body works, but no judgment at all. But these type of people, they're really in their minds, very like lot of thinking going on, and they don't have any connection at all with spiritual realms or any kind of God that they believe in. And that's okay for them. It just means it could lead to other neurological issues just over time. And it may not. I'm just saying it could. I'm not saying it will. It could. And everything is connected and layered. I use my symptomology and my metabolic balance plans together to support so many, to build others up and to get to the root cause as best as I can and as best as the client commits to his newer lifestyle habits. And you know what? My clients inspire me. I am so proud of them, every single one. They inspire me to be better every day. So kudos to all you guys too. Many people reject new ideas because they think they are protecting themselves, and they are to a point, right? We have to protect ourselves. There's boundaries involved for sure. But the cycle can continue when you're not understanding that you're actually hurting yourself rather than protecting yourself, because you're not living the path you're meant to be on. Everyone needs direction, don't we? When we speak to our hearts and listen to our inner voice, it tries to get our attentions to stay on path. Try to be very disciplined with yourself, because the mind likes to be stimulated and active, and the ego will be deceptive and try its best to get you off track. It's so important to decipher the truth from the non-truths, to let your heart and gut feel connected. If one is off, like if they don't balance each other, then give us some space and time until you can make your decisions after that. When we live our life imbalanced, it keeps our heart, our mind, and our body in sync with one another and reduces the stressors on our organs and our bodies so it can work optimally for you. It is time to stop being unkind to yourselves and others, to give up illusions that are not serving you anymore. Don't you think? Yeah, I think so. It's time. Developing yourself in who you are is so important and imperative in your health and wellness journey. Fear and struggle are the opposite of empowerment for yourself. I know this can be scary, but it is vital to your well-being and quality for betterment to let it go. How can you serve others? How can you empower others? How can you stop self-sabotaging yourself? Now you would have the answers to think about those, you can watch yourself thrive. I help people confront their issues with themselves and nutrition to add layers of self-confidence and self-esteem and self-worth, to help people on their wellness journey to balance metabolism in their bodies, minds, and hearts. Emotions and thoughts and feelings and intentions make a huge difference in your life every single day. Don't let the bad habits be like visitors that have overstayed their welcome. They eat up all your food, they dirty the floors and the bathrooms, and they leave the bedroom a mess. This is how your body feels when you have been abusing yourself for so many years. No wonder we have so many symptoms. But there is hope, and I challenge you to take back your power and join me on your wellness journey to health and vitality and wholeness again. This is the gift to lean in and listen to our instincts, to awaken our true selves again, to empowerment and wholeness again. Remember, what we resist persists. Lean in and listen, learn to respond. Listen and be curious. Changes your whole perception of a seemingly stressful situation, doesn't it? We crave ourselves, and it's okay to be in our own skins again. The triggers bring clarity and reflection to stand on our own, not to get out of our own way and know and live from this kind of connection with ourselves. This is the best thing that I do. I teach others to have a better relationship with themselves through nutrition and food as a start, and it stems out positively like a ripple effect through their whole lives. And ask your body, how do you feel? I saw an angel once. Again, not once. So this is like the very first time before the fall. I saw an angel when I was going through my divorce. And it changed my perception on pain and love all in a few moments. When I was going through my very painful divorce, it triggered me, and I was so hard on myself, harder than I had to be. But there's no handbook. Divorces are messy, they're painful, they're very hard. No one prepares you for that, do they? We don't have that intention when we get married. We're going to get divorced. And I was crying myself to sleep. I felt so horrible about my situation. I had so much fear and I was so scared. And all of a sudden, when I was almost between half awake and asleep, my eyes were like squinting and I couldn't hardly see because the light was so bright, like looking up into the sun. But through the corner of my wall, the whole room went bright white light, and I could see this wingspan, and this beautiful flowing angel came into my room. And I wasn't dreaming, I was still awake. And it came to me and filled up the whole room with this bright light and kissed me on the forehead. It was so beautiful. It changed my perception of compassion and light and love forever. And this is as well why I knew I needed to get on this path. And I left it for many years before I started this as well. I just did it on the side, but I didn't fully immerse myself as I am now. So it's never too late to start. For me, when I get tired or I am not feeling well or I hurt myself recently, I need to lean in to even give more rest and TLC to myself. And so do you. And that's okay. Another moment happened actually when my grandfather died. When I must have been about 8 or 10. And in a dream, he said goodbye to me. And I can see him going up the escalator like it was like almost like a stairway to heaven with the clouds around him. And there's all these dark night stars around him in the sky. And he waved to me and said goodbye and kissed me goodbye. And I was crying in my dream because I was saying goodbye to him. And I was felt fortunate that he did that for me. He made that connection and I could see it. And that I remembered that to this day. So I've had a lot of intuitive experiences in my life too that have also surprised me. When my mom came in my room that night to say your grandfather had passed, I already knew it. And I didn't want to tell her what I had seen. And maybe I should have. I'm not sure right now, but I guess she knows now if she's watching. But it was such a magical, amazing moment. And honestly, all of us have that ability to connect with people that have passed as well. And this is why I say I use all my superpowers I do to support my clients. But I also realize I am only human and need to lean in to recharge my batteries too with self-care, to not take on the world, set boundaries, to speak up, more on my truths without worrying what others will think of me. And this is why I came on here today in this space among friends. You support me as much as I support you. And thank you for that. I appreciate every single one of you every day. So just to recap, we want to set our intentions of how you want to feel, of the life you want to live. Feel the energy flowing through you and visualize your goals with clarity and detail. Engage all of your senses. Practice gratitude to shift your focus to abundance and positivity, aligning yourself, setting clear intentions and affirmations that are positive and in the moment. And then release any doubts or limiting beliefs that may block your manifestations. Sounds easy. It sounds easier than done. It's easier to say that than doing it, but it actually takes practice. And by cultivating a mindset of belief and trust in the process, take inspired action towards your goals, seizing opportunities and staying open to receive your desires in unexpected ways by staying curious and leaning in and listening and observing and creating the life you want and turning your dreams into reality. Anyone can change their life, even you. I've done it many times, and so can you. I'd like to end my live call. I was going to bring someone on live today, but I'll do that on my next one because it's my first, and I'm not really sure how to do that yet. So this is called the Shandiva prayer. And if everyone would like to close their eyes and just take a few deep breaths in, hold it, and out. Let's try that again. Breathe in. Hold it, and out. If you can close your eyes if you'd like, it's up to you. But I have to read this, so I can't close mine. so feel free. Be comfortable. This is called the Shandiva's prayer. So may all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms. May the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored and finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth. Those weak find joy. And everyone bears fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from the ailments. And may the frightened cease to not be afraid and be bound to be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other for as long as the space remains. Until then, may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. And thank you very much for coming on today. Did anyone have any questions? I don't know if we can ask them in this format. But if you do, just reach out to me. I'm happy to answer them. Does anyone have any questions at this time? No? Well, if you do, just reach out. I'm happy to speak to you. And thank you so much. Everyone have a really wonderful night and long weekend, a nice weekend and long weekend next weekend. And I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now.